Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So tonight's question is, what do you like slash dislike about Ava Jerome? Now, yesterday, we were simply talking about the whole Ava got smacked. Ava got the piss smacked out of her. I almost thought that Ava needed to go to the hospital. That's how bad that smack was. People were livid. They were so livid, they were sitting there saying things that if I wasn't as tired as I was yesterday, I probably would have did a couple more check-in. Smith is saying that Betty is worse than Gladys. Betty is worse than Gladys. What the? I mean, the moral compasses on some of the stuff that I heard yesterday, you know, I felt like I should have really brought my A game yesterday towards some of like the out of box things that people were sitting there saying. Now I may be tired tonight, but yeah, some of this stuff is gonna have to sit there and be checked tonight. What's good, Black Mom? What's good, Lashanta? Lashanta, how you doing tonight? We're gonna get into it. We're gonna sit there and talk about all the soaps. We're gonna talk about B&B, Y&R days. We're gonna get into it all. I saw some people. Jonathan, my friend is early tonight. How you doing tonight, Jonathan? How's every? Jonathan, I gotta ask you another question. I gotta ask you another question. So you know about Gundam? Did you ever watch any of the shows, or which ones did you like? Which because I think you said you like G Gundam the best, but I want to make sure I get my facts clear. Am Pop is in the chat. Was good, Am Pop. I'm glad to hear that, Black Mod. Glad to hear that. We're gonna get into it tonight. I feel like in a way I'm kind of getting my second win. I'm probably gonna lose it at some point, but see, that's my guy right there. That's my guy right there. See, another reason why I knew I liked you, Jonathan. Another reason. One of the main reasons, but that's another reason now. Lashanta says why Hope says she didn't feel protected. Yeah, ain't that up? This chick is deflecting like there's no tomorrow. Valerie's in the chat. Was good, Valerie. I knew, yes, and okay, I want to make sure. I want to make sure. I knew it was Chico, but I want to make sure. Let me ask you a question, Jonathan. Do you think that show would fly now? Like, let's think about that for a minute. Do you think that show? Because I know that show came out like in the '90s or '80s or whatever. But do you think that show would last now, or they would make a show like that now? I sat there. I watched. I sat there and I watched a little bit, and I was like, man, there's certain things that I feel like people could just really take offense to. Lashanta says Ava should have told Sonny. Yes, damn right. She should. She should have told Sonny a long time ago. A long time ago. Ida's in the chat. Was good, Ida. She should have told Sonny a long time ago. Yo, people were going out of pocket yesterday, and I want those two individuals to come into this chat tonight because we're gonna have to sit there and put them to the front of the congregation. That's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to put them to the front of the damn congregation. And Pop says, Albert, why was you so pumped today? I felt like you had something on your mind. Oh, some of this stuff, yeah, G Gundam. G Gundam. Kyrie's, we have to bring you to the front of the congregation. Kyrie's is in the chat. Yeah. I just don't get me wrong, I was also tired too, but I was pumped as well. Kyrie says, you don't put this like in front of my goddess Ava Jerome like that. They don't like her out of here. Here we go. Autumn's in the chat. Autumn says, I'm really glad Ava finally told Sunny everything. She should have done that since the beginning. And Albert on BNB, why was Ben not freaking out at all? Yo, I feel I feel like my dude is in a trance. Yeah, G Gundam. But Johnson says, yeah, I just feel like some people get kind of offended. Like they have like a Gundam called like Gundam Canada or something like that, and they got like a Mexican Gundam, and I'm just like, I I just optics wise, I just What? No, 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 no. What I'm sitting there saying is, see, Kyrie's about to sit there and give me the business tonight. Last days in the chat was good last day. Lashanta says Ava lost all her cool points. I'm telling you. Uh, okay, see, that's something. Okay, that's something else, and we're gonna get into that. Um, I'm not coming, and to be fair, Kyrie, I'm not coming at Ava the way you think I'm coming at Ava. Okay, but there was some stuff that was kind of unsaid yesterday because I'm gonna be honest. I was tired. I was damn near a zombie. We gonna get into it tonight though, because what I this let's actually get a drink first. Johnson says, "Oh, those Hellers may need." Yeah, that's okay. All right, I'm glad. Okay, yeah, I'm glad we got that. I'm glad we got that cleared out, Jonathan, because I think that's what I was Smith there talking about. But okay, so people are Smith there saying, I'm gonna sit there and say his name starts with an S. People are Smith there saying that like Betty was worse than what's her name? Betty was worse than Harmony, and Betty was worse than Gladys. And I'm just like, wait, what? How you gonna sit there and say, oh, we gonna get into it tonight? Carrie said, yep, if it's about Ava killing Connie, like I said, she's gonna get hers when Marine Rest retires. All right, so okay, let's just kind of get on the same page a little bit. So, Kyrie, if it was anybody else that was playing Ava, if it was anybody else that was not there playing Ava, um, would you feel differently about me? I guess coming at about me talking about Ava in a certain way. Would it bother you as much if more of us wasn't playing? Darby says, please. Albert is safe. I mean, Gary's is here. I don't want him to smack you like. Becky D is in the chat. Grams is in the chat. What's good? What's good? What's good, Grams? No, Kyrie's about to sit there and come in with the smoke though, but it's all love at the end of the day. Kyrie's is my boy. That's never gonna change. We're gonna get into this tonight though. Johnson says we only met Betty for one episode. How could she already be worse than it? Yeah, I said the same thing, but apparently, like Spider, screw it. I'm gonna sit there and say like Spider Quake was sitting there saying like, oh, Harmony, Harmony wasn't as bad as Betty, and um, Gladys wasn't as bad as Betty, and I'm just like, wait, what? All right, let me pull my drink first. Let me pull my drink first. We're gonna get into this. Then if I say something out of pocket, I'll just sit there and say I was drinking. Carrie says maybe or maybe not. Well, Maureen West is the only Ava Jerome I know. The only Ava Jerome there will ever be. Lord B's in the chat. What's good, Lord B? All right. So let me get this straight. People were really okay. So people were really upset. Well, yes, Jonathan. I'm glad we're on the same page about that. Yes, that's very true. Again, so did Ava, but my whole thing is like Ava used to sit there and smack up her own damn daughter. Remember that? Remember when she used to sit there and smack up Kiki? When they used to sit there and be in competition? She used to sit there and literally be in competition with her own daughter about men that was half her age. So she smacked up her daughter like there was no tomorrow. No one bats an eyelash at that. She gets smacked, and practically all hell's about to break loose. Is it this where we at now? Duan's in the chat. Gemini's in the chat. What's good, Gemini? Makai's in the chat. How you doing tonight, Makai? Johnson says, I'll never forget how Ava treated Kiki. Yeah, her own daughter. Her own daughter. She smacked up her own damn daughter. She got smacked up yesterday. I felt like it was World War III. Graham says, I love Ava, but she waited too long to tell Sonny about Mason. Yeah, exactly. And now we're at a point where it's like, all of them actually did have a point. I was actually pretty fired up. Aubrey says, oh, LaShanta says Betty, not bad. Ava's scared for her mom, but now she posts saying, yeah, yes, exactly. Um, and Rihanna's in the chat. What's good, and Rihanna? Becky D says, I'm doing good. It's finally rained today. 33 days, no rain. Ariana says, Albert, we served another holiday. Yes, we did. Yes, we did, my lady. Yes, we did. Man, that was hard today. Ooh, hell day was hard. Like there was no tomorrow. Lovebridge says, I was in the minority that I don't want Betty. Dad, please. Yeah. Oh, no, I don't know. No, no. They can come at me all they want. Gemini. Carrie says, like I said, Ava never slapped Kiki. Kiki physically slapped Ava twice. Now, I've seen clips of I've seen clips of her slapping her daughter. Could have swore I saw clips of that. Let's just sit there and say, Chris Dawes in the chat. Johnson says, look like the mystery boys say it's finally starting to come along now. Sonny knows. Yes. And you know who, not going to say this person's name, was saying that things are going to start to move a lot forward, right? But here's my whole thing now, right? She treated, now Johnson says Ava has slapped Kiki. That's exactly what I was just saying. And let's just sit there and say hypothetically that didn't happen. It did happen. Let's just sit there and say it didn't. She still treated her own daughter like garbage, like trash. She competed against her own daughter for a man, not just once, but twice. Twice. Esme's not her daughter. I don't, I don't know how to take that, Kyrie. I'm trying not to have to get that mad at me, but I don't know how to. Because Johnson was like, I know she slapped up her daughter. Okay? My point is, she slaps people all the time, right? She slapped people before. Okay, she slapped the piss out of Nicholas. Becky D said, yeah, Ava's been through some stuff and back again. I think those clips were where Ava was drinking too much. Curry says, no, she's not. Y'all making stuff up. Ava never saw Kiki. I screenshot every last one. Queen, the case is in the chat. I'm just here. I don't understand what Ava and Kiki's relationship has to do with Betty slapping Ava. My point is that people were upset. They were mad. They were mad that Betty's put hands on Ava, slapped Ava. But Ava has slapped people before though. Ava has done much worse things than a simple slap. So it's like Ava gets it's one of those things where I don't know if it's just tunnel vision or whatever. Becky just says used to slap people before she had Avery and calm down. Okay, so yeah, she does what she used to sit there and smack up people all the time. My point is that she smacked people before. Okay. And no one batted an eyelash, no one clutched their pearls, and it was like, oh my god, somebody slapped her. Like, yeah. She slapped the piss out of Nicholas before. Like, I don't. Nikki says so people can't be mad that Ava got slapped because of Ava's past. I don't get it. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Kristen says, why did Nina leave when Wiley went to bed yesterday? Nina claimed to want to spend time with her daughter, but the moment Michael said it's not Wiley, no. Nina felt it was her cue to leave. I don't remember that. Carrie says, no, Duane says, because that's not the way Ava would respond. Carrie says, you guys are wrong, though. Ava never slapped Kiki. In 2013, Kiki slapped Ava. In 2018, Kiki slapped Ava. Ava told her, I'll let you have that one because you're my daughter just once. Kyrus is gonna be an amazing PR guy. He's gonna be an amazing PR guy. Nikki said, "Okay, so you're outraged at the outrage." No, I'm not outraged. I just find it funny. That's all. I just find it funny. That's all. Luanda says, "I could be wrong, but it seems like the only reason that Ava did not slap Betty back was because of." No, exactly. That's exactly no. That's you are 100% correct, and that's something else I want to sit there and talk about. Jay Sam is in the chat. Love that Ava used to never back down. I hate when Ava did that to Morgan. Yeah. So people were snitching, and this is in Brock TV's channel. In his comment section, somebody was like, "I can't believe they made Ava such a coward and such a punk, and just kind of took what and just okay, this is not working." Like I had to sit there and yell. W says all that was missing was some guy telling Ava she got slapped. Ah, yes. Becky says I think they had backed off on the violence recently to the point that people are shocked to see it. If they showed it a lot, people are likely to do what they see. Yeah, very true. And you know how that tends to go wrong. Krista says, any thoughts on the Days of Our Lives co-executive? Oh, what's no? What's his name? God damn it! Yeah, I still do. I still do. I Austin's working with. Nope, I don't think he's working with him. Wait, his first name is Albert. Oh, that's not good. I don't know about it, but I will sit there and look it up. Look it up. That's the first time I've heard that though. But yeah, no, Lashanta, I don't think they're working together. And if so, then I'm gonna have egg on my face. Curious says there, so therefore she never hit her, so that wasn't relevant between her and Kiki. So this new playing Betty coming into town and slapping the queen does piss me off. All right, I'm gonna say this. People have a right to feel how they want to feel, right? I'm not sitting there telling them that they can or that they shouldn't. This is just me sitting there saying that. Well, first of all, I like your PR skills, Kyrie. In all reality, I do feel like she did smack Kiki a couple of times. And here's the thing: let's just sit there and say, again, Kyrie, that didn't happen. She still treated her daughter pretty badly. Like she did. Anyway, all right. I'm just gonna sit there and move on past that because I feel like it's just gonna be too much of a back and forth thing. Um, like I said, I just you know, I'm like, yo, this chick is running around killing Connie Falconeri, messing with Morgan's pills, and no one clutched at pearls then. But the minute that she gets smacked, there's an issue. It's for me, it'd be like if Sonny got shot, right? Sonny practically kills and bullies his way through life as far as him being in the mob. He literally has blood money. Okay. I would not be upset if some new guy came in there and practically just did the same thing, gave him that same energy. You know. Jarros says, "Hey Albert, I just ate my food and watched GH on my TV and recorded when Ava tells Sonny that Mason knows that." Yeah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Now, Jay Sam says the nanny has earned the right to slap Ava. Yeah, no, but I'm really happy about that. I wanna highlight that. Jay Sam says the nanny has earned the right to slap Ava. Nikki said, you said no clutch their pearls then, but I remember the fans' outrage of Ava over her past. Hmm. I don't remember it that much. All right, you could be right. Um, Curry says they ain't got nothing to do with the story though. This day player who hasn't paid her due slapping the queen ain't gonna slide. My dude, Jason says I meant hasn't earned the right. Oh, Johnson says whether or not Ava slapped Kiki, she did berate her on several occasions. Yeah, and that was her own daughter. uh, but yeah, I just like I said, I found it funny. Jason says, how do you feel about Curtis? I generally feel bad for Curtis. I do. I feel bad for Curtis. I understand that he doesn't want to be handled and stuff like that, and it's a lot. It's a lot. I feel bad for him. How about you, J Sam? Darby says Ava had a ton of unpaid karma coming her way, and all she got was a slap. Well, she got off pretty lucky. Carrie says exactly Ava was hated for years and years for Connie and Morgan, respectively. Juan says I looked to see if Ava slapped Kiki, and all I saw was Kiki slapping her. Here's the thing. Let's just sit there and say you couldn't find it. Still doesn't you know, it doesn't change the fact that she berated and competed over men that Kiki was interested in. But we just gonna let that slide. Kerry says if Carly slapped Ava, cool. Ava will slap her back more than likely. And thank you, Dwayne. Exactly, Kiki was the one who stopped Ava. Lashanta says, I don't care about Curtis, Liz, and Finn. Well, what did you actually like about the episode? Because I feel like that's half of why does his first name got to be Albert? God damn it. Albert Alar was investigated for misconduct and inappropriate behavior, especially harassing against women and unequal pay, letting women go unnecessary harassment. And this was on. Ooh, okay. Now I'm gonna look into that. Okay, thank you, Chris. I'm gonna look into that. So I might actually want to do a video on that because that's ooh, okay. Why is his first name got to be Albert for him? Lobry says, I didn't care about Lynn Fizz and Brooklyn and Chase anymore. I didn't really care about those things. I really didn't. I didn't. Nikki said Brooklyn and Chase were weird today. I would never have a contest with my man to see who could swallow the most. I I really had to sit there. Okay. Yes, it just seemed like a pointless thing to be honest, also. It's like, see, baby girl, I can sit there and I can break the rules for you. I just skinny dipped, broke the rules for you. Like, come on, like what are we doing at this point? J Sam says Liz and Finn are boring. Yeah, they didn't really do too much of anything today. Johnson says the only good part of today's episode was Ava revealing everything to Sunny. Yes. Well, that was one of them for me, yes. I didn't like the Curtis stuff. I did. Jason says, I'm on the fence with Curtis. I get that he's scared, but Portia is trying, he is pushing her away. Yeah, I get that too. And it just comes down to being a burden, and I get that as well. It's a very complex situation. Johnson says, do you think Brady will actually sign the papers this time? Hopefully so, because it is getting to a point where like Brady is just starting to piss me off. Like he really is. Jess is in the chat. What's good, Jess? But yeah, I actually tell you too, Jonathan. Looked like you signed the papers today. Carrie says, and Kiki threw a drink in Ava's face. Did Ava slap her? Then no, especially physically between Kiki and Ava was all Kiki slapped her, threw a drink in her face, and again was okay. All right. LaShanta says Brooke told Rich the truth for a change. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of surprised because I did look at that and I was like, you just sold out your own daughter too. Like your daughter said, don't say anything, and then you just run to Rich and you're like, Hope is sleeping with Tom. It's like, what? Valerie says no one cares about Chase skinny dipping. Laura B says I don't care about Lil Bill. I don't care about Porsche and Curtis as a couple either, but I did feel bad. Oh, okay, so you do. Okay, you don't care about them as a couple, but okay, yeah. No, it's a Lawanda says, sorry, autocorrect got me. No, I knew what you meant. Johnson says, and it looks like the truth about Nicole Baby will come out this week. Yes. Yep. And thank you, Jonathan, because I cannot wait until Gwen finds out what, just how thirsty that she is for a man. And DC's in chat. Let's everyone say what's up to DC. Danny, where happened to your YouTube page? Because I cannot find your YouTube page. I cannot find it. I am so glad you're in the chat. Last Day says I was never a Kiki fan. She always comes across as annoying to me. And the one and only DC. DC says Michael Easton's best role was Caleb Morgan on Port Charles. The rest of his roles have been kind of monotone, to be honest. I would actually have to go back. I don't even remember that. Because I was sitting there thinking, wouldn't he be like monotone in that as well? But yeah, Danny, let me know. Let me know what's going on with your channel. Because I cannot find it today at all. Like literally. LaShanta says it's on pregnant. I'm wondering. I'm assuming that she is because she didn't actually accept a drink from Melinda unless that was her cover story. I'm not too sure. Johnson says Sloan better prepare for EJ's raft. Uh, Amy's in the chat. What's good, Amy? Let's everyone say what's up to Amy. That's funny too, because DC was sneaking talking about Michael, and you got the profile picture. So I thought that was actually really good timing. What's good, Amy? Let's everyone say what's up to Amy. DC says no because Caleb on Port Charles was a vampire. He played it with a lot of depth. John McBain was a strong silent type. Cyrus Clay was also a strong silent type, and now Finn Hamilton. Okay, same silent type. Okay. I keep forgetting that the other chick took over. De Haviland's in the chat. Was good, De Haviland. You are De Haviland, right? Because I know that may be one of your things. Lashanta says, do you believe Cyrus is scared? I hope not. I'm going to sit there and say no. I'm going to sit there and say no. Ronnie Ron is in the chat. What's good, Ronnie Ron? Last day said John McBain was his best role. And what's good, Ron? Johnson said, do you think Lee and Melinda have a chance at a relationship with each other? Yeah, I do. But I feel like I hope they don't drag it out too long. Like when they get back into that whole date thing, part two, I feel like their respective dates are going to come in there and it's going to like kind of stop some stuff, stop some momentum from them actually hooking up. I knew it. I knew it. I wasn't too sure to happen, but yeah, because they're going out on another date with like different people. So I feel like they're going to sit there and give them a couple of obstacles at the very least. DC says when folks be dating them strong, silent, tight, they be driving you crazy. That's why Sam let Jay get kidnapped. Jason drove her crazy. But yeah, no, I notice that. You know, part of me just feels like even if Gwen finds out about Dimitri, she still may not give him up. She still may not give him up. And I swear, if that happens, I'm going to go off on Gwen like there's no tomorrow. Also, it was that bad, Ron? That sounds like a hangover right there, broski. Lashanta says Diane want to use Bill and Jack on with that. What do you mean use Billy and Jack? How is she using Billy and Jack? Johnson says yes, Jonathan, I did. I think it was yesterday. Somebody told me that yesterday. Terry says, okay, I'm going to start screaming to get Jocelyn away from Jax. I'm bringing in some rich snob for. Oh, okay. Terry says, I beg to differ. Gwen will definitely give him up. Listen, Kyrie, I hope that you're right. I hope that you're right. Um, I just, I can see how desperate Gwen really is. Ron says Phoenix said that was bad writing when Diane said that she is stepping down. It was just a week. Yeah, but then she decided to change her mind on. Just said, did anyone peep that spaghetti? Hold on. Yep. Johnson says, I wonder how Eddie Anderson is doing. Who's Eddie Anderson? That just says, did anyone peep the spaghetti Portia order for Curtis? Why did it look better than? Damn. You know what? Here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest. To be fair, I was kind of waiting. I was kind of waiting for that from that slay from Jess. I really was. Um, I give her some props because she waited. Okay, she didn't go at me hard yesterday. She waited a couple of days, so I give her some props. Seriously, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that. My wingman. That's right, Jess. You better call out that spaghetti. That's my wingman, ladies and gentlemen. It's my wingman right there. Ron says, I would thank God I didn't walk. Just oh, I thought it was okay. Oh, 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 oh my God! Damn the king. I was just gonna say, let me just take another drink. Jesus Christ! Ooh, two-piece combo tonight. Okay. Mm. You know what the sad thing is? I actually don't even have a defense for that. I don't even really actually have a defense for that. Johnson said, Kristen, brother Eddie, he played Matthew Buchanan. I don't know if that's before I started watching or after. Have a good night, Krista. Thank you for joining. Daphne says, it is my husband, Becca. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I felt like that's what it was. DC says, that's what happens when you try to be out here flexing. That spaghetti comes not so good. Oh, no. I threw it out, Jess. No. I threw it out. Laura B says, I think you did okay for your first time. Thank you, Laura B. Thank you. Thank you, Laura B. I appreciate that. Thank you, Laura B. I got my right hand man over there just hanging me out to dry. I'm getting two-piece combo up in here. Carrie says, Ashley is beyond pathetic. I run out of pathetic. I think I officially don't like her until the end of her fixation. Yeah, with Diane, it is getting to a point where it's just like it's just exhausting at this point. That's the problem. DC says no sauce is even on that spaghetti. I have my concerns as well. There was sauce on that spaghetti. It just wasn't that much. Gary says that's your new goal for age 40 cooking classes. Yes. Just as DC says, listening right is right and wrong is wrong, and that spaghetti was wrong. And that's my right hand man right there. Just said, how did you F ground beef? Was the stuff? Um. Well, I don't even know how to answer that. Yeah, I'm. Have a good night, there, Happening. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't even. I don't even actually have a. I don't even have an answer for that. Oh, that's what it was. No, I was trying to fry it for some odd reason, and it did not come out all the way I wanted it to. W says, Albert, a pair of queens just called you. I noticed. Just that that meat gave me nightmares. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm. Jesus Christ. DC says, Albert cooking failure is what happens when flexing goes wrong. You know what, DC? He is right about that. He is 100% right about that. I will give you that. Curry says, outside of Ava, G sucks. Ron says, Albert, Steffi is my favorite, but she is really disgusting trying to control Finn by Listen, Ron, I don't know what's controlling Finn at this point. Can you help me with that? Justin said, do you think Ashley really loves Tucker, or is she keeping him close so he can take down? I feel like she does. I hope she does. Jonathan, I really hope she does. No, God damn it. Okay, he said not to sound dirty, but you got to break off the meat as it cooks. Yeah, yeah, that's very true. Just that he said he watched cooking videos, lying, and no, that's not true. I did not. No, no, that's no. I didn't follow it as good as I should have. That's what wound up happening. Lashanta says Victor up to something offering Sally a job. I thought she said Newman's were yeah, and then she was very um I'm surprised she didn't say no right away. Victor, have a seat. Becky D says, Albert, we learn more from our mistakes than from successes. Yeah. But no, I didn't follow it as well as you know. I'm not gonna lie. When I was making the ground beef and it didn't come out the way that I wanted it to, that's when I knew I started. That's when I knew things were starting to go awry. Um, like you said, if you have an extension office in your state, you could get free cooking and nutrition classes. Kyrie says, "Well, Albert can't cook for Ish if it's like depending on it, just like I predicted." Wow, I haven't. Yes, that's right, Kyrie. I will enjoy my applesauce. Thank you. Ron says, "So Albert, so Sloan thinks what she did by switching the results, trying to keep Eric and Nicole together, she will be ashamed of herself. It's not so much that she will be ashamed of herself. I just think that she's so desperate at this point that it just doesn't really. No, she's just desperate. That's what it comes down to. Now, I was trying to say I'm sick of Adam constantly trying to talk to her. Johnson says, "Are you familiar with Friends, the TV show?" Yeah, I was more of a of Seinfeld fan, but yeah, I do remember Friends though. Valerie says, "Use Italian sauces next time." DC says flex never works well. He should have played it safe with some macaroni and cheese, but he want the flex. Jess is just roasting me up tonight. I was gonna sit there and say yes, but you know what? I don't know. Maybe that's wrong too. Becky says next time you cook some spaghetti, it'll be better. Next time, break up the meat, use more heat and some salt, or you can use sauces with veggies instead of meat. Yeah, no, it didn't go well. Well, I knew the roasting was coming sooner or later. I move fast. Johnson said, "Do you know that they had an episode where Joey played a character?" And really, I gotta sit there. I gotta sit there and watch that. Carrie said, "Dang, just I got to defend Albert. Now he can cook mac and cheese if it's in the microwave." Thank you, Kyrie. Thank you. That's what exactly. Well, thank you, Kyrie. That's why you're my guy. That's why you're my guy. You're always gonna be my guy. Ariana says Seinfeld was great friends as well. Yeah, I never I saw some stuff from um from Friends, but thank you. I don't know. I was just more of a Seinfeld guy. W says Sloan is just lonely. She has no one, no fan. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and she said that to Melinda. I'm not gonna lie. I'm loving like the fact that they're putting Melinda on more. I am loving it. I am loving it. Becky D says you never learn if you don't try. It'll be better next time. Yeah, that's right. But I am getting the roasting that I properly deserve, and of course, it's just so it's. The hell. Lashanta says Brooklyn Chase must not know about the cameras. Apparently, they just said F the cameras because she did look at the cameras, um, and he pretty much is like F the cameras. Justin says it was a fictional version of Days of Our Lives. I'm gonna take a look at it. DC says I'm not gonna lie, I felt Seinfeld was terrible. Capital letters, I never understood how it lasted. So really, wow, interesting. Big Samuel's in the chat. Look, what's good, Samuel? Let's everyone say what's up to Samuel. Ron says, "Do you think that they should have had put Melinda with Jared?" Hell no, hell no, Ron. Spiderquake's in the chat. Curry says, "Even though you try to test me today, you still my guy as well. I told you I'm down with you like four flat tires, even though the La Ava slash Kiki almost turned me in." No, it's all good. It's all good. And my guy Curry's. Oh wow, that moved fast. I literally blanked. Samuel says Body and Soul was a cross between Days and Like Live. Hmm. Aaron says I thought it was funny turning and to see you try. I think you huge and there. I think you huge and they're pretty much good. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. Thank you, Becky. I mean, thank you, Jonathan. Every says Albert roasting is just another name for content. Very true. It's very, very true. Just said Chase is so corny. I don't know which scene was worse, his or Finn and Liz. Finn and Liz was boring, right? Finn and Liz was just straight up boring. That's just what it came down to. Curry says, inspire quick arbitrage to come for us for hating Betty. I shut that down. Don't worry. I kind of just, I have to tell you, I pretty much just kind of set my piece. So, like Rick says, I was hoping Brooklyn would strip, but then Chase disappointed me and Brooklyn didn't strip. Yeah, I would have been cool with that. Jarvo says, what time you going to be on live for your evening? Maybe 8:30, give or take, because I'm gonna be in city, so I may sit there and try to like sneak a live in there a couple of times, which would actually be really fun if I can actually do a live there. Ariana says Finn and Liz is the worst. Yeah, they were just boring. They were just boring. That's what it came down to. They were just boring. Ron, why is this so? Ron says Albert tomorrow on rinse and repeat. I'm looking forward to Deacon and Sheila getting busy in the bedroom, and hopefully she gets knocked. Oh my God, Ron! I'm so glad you're in these chats. I am so glad you're in these chats. 'Cause at the end of the day, just say you're going live on Saturday. I don't know. I mean, like depends on how it is, how that atmosphere is. I mean, sit there and go live for a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Sarah says, I hate the way GH is writing Ava. Ava would never let a fake nanny slap her. That ish was whack. See, a lot of people said that, right? A lot of people saying that they made Ava look like a coward. But I sat there and I looked at it and I was like, but Ava's mom is literally on the line. Like you can't just sit there. Um, oh my God, thank you, Jonathan. Johnson says, imagine if they have Jennifer Aniston play as a character on Days for Victor's funeral, and Matt LeBlanc playing a legit version of Days' character he played on Friends. That would be interesting. No, thank you, Jonathan. And also, I thought about that as far as Jennifer Aniston, like maybe appearing on the show. I think that'd be pretty cool if she wanted to do something like that. Exactly, DC. I thought about that. I did. I thought about that. I was like, I mean, granted, before you said that, I thought about that. And again, thank you, Jonathan. Thank you. That's right, Ron. Yeah, no, I think everyone in the chat knows about that, Ron. I think everybody in this chat knows about that. DC says Ava was a whole mob boss, and now she's getting slapped around by a nanny. Make it make sense. Her mom was on a her mom's life is literally on the line. This is why I didn't understand when I was in Brock TV's um comment section. People was there saying they made Ava look weak. And I'm like, well, what good would it have done if Ava would have literally sit there and beat the living hell out of that nanny? Like, it's not about her looking weak. It's not about her being weak or anything like that. It actually takes a lot of strength and restraint to not sit there and choose violence in that situation. So I give her props on that. Even though I wasn't there coming at Ava hard in the beginning, and I'm not taking what I said away, but Becky D says, I was glad Sonny finally knows what's going on. Sonny will take care of it. You know, I'm wondering if he actually can, because she's okay. So she's okay. So Spike Quick, she's all those names because she slapped Ava. Gladys is still worse about Ma. I stand by what I said about Betty. That's cool. LaShawn's in the chat. LaShawn said, I didn't like when Ava Jerome killed Connie Falconeri. Yeah, apparently people forget about that all the time. That's just oh, people's heads. Kara says, who inspired my profile picture change was certainly not Brooke Logan. It wasn't Dimitri, and it's dang sure wasn't Dex. It wasn't Will either. But Craig says, I'm not mad about her slapping Ava. Oh no, I'm not just saying you. I'm just saying in general. I look at that and I'm like, I know some people was not happy about that. Oh, um, Tyrese, he liked the video. I sent it to him yesterday. I shared it with him yesterday. He liked the video. As soon as I saw that video, I was like, I gotta sit there and share with you know who. So he watched it as well. Ron said, I refer others in the chat. For those who don't know Phoenix, please explain to the other. Oh, I'm not doing that. I'm pretty sure most people know who he is, and if they don't know who he is, they could sit there and look him up. Nikki said, I did forget about Ava's past. I don't care. Lisa says, who are inspired to change unless they're in the chat. Yeah, and Spider Quick, I actually will have time to watch it tomorrow. So I'm very excited about that. Since I'm off, I actually have time to sit there and watch it. So I'm Spider Quick, what you thought of the series, though? You don't have to sit there and give away any spoil. What do you think of the series overall, though? Oh, Spike Quick, I think you asked a question. Somebody, yeah, DC had a cliffhanger question that we wanted to know, and he didn't sit there and say what it is. Thank you, Spider Quick. LaShawn says Nina did not have a mask on when she came to visit Willow. I forgot about that. LaShonda says, LaShawn and LaShanta says, I wonder what Diane got up her sleeves so Carly won't lose her house. Kelly's, right? Bucklick says, I give it a 7 so far. Wow, you are you are a little bit more generous than me. Gorgeous Queen Janet is in the chat. What's good, Janet? More sense. Spikequake says Nina is Willow's mom. She doesn't need a mask. Yeah, she does. I mean, outside stuff. The whole reason why they were wearing masks in the first place is that way they wouldn't get her sick. I'm glad to hear that. Let's everyone say what's up to Janet. The amazing, gorgeous Janet is in the chat. God damn it. Oh, my bad. I didn't read the whole thing. Spikequake says the writers brought some random woman in that we don't know to slap Ava. If they would have brought the lady in earlier and built her up as an undercover nanny working with mob, it would have made more sense. Okay. 10. I know. That's why I sat there. That's why I went back and read it. So it could actually make sense. LaShawn says, where's Lieswa? That's a damn good question. Like Quick said, it will be a 10. Wow. Eagle Fangs in the chat was good. Eagle Fang. Like Quick said, so I said that because Michael ain't wearing a mask. I don't care if they're married. You have a point. I give you that, Spider Quick. Carrie says, for 24 hours, my mind was altered. LOL, someone made an epic return to a video and was so good. As a co-host, I felt inspired for 24 hours. As an admiration, it was the legendary known as... Oh, these... Okay. Samuel said, GH is feeling so disjointed to me. Why is that? I'm curious, Samuel. Y'all be too scared for me. That's weird. People listening to saying hi, Eagle Fang, and I haven't seen Eagle Fang in this chat once. All right, let me see if I can see. Everyone's saying hi to Eagle Fang, and I'm like, Lawanda says, did anybody other than me fast forward through Fen? Good question for the chat. Okay, there you go. Now I see you. Now I see you. No, and that's the thing, Valerie. Like I saw people were talking about him, but like Ron said, so how long is Sarah willing to keep the baby? I don't think they're gonna drag it out too long. Hopefully. Ron said, so how long is Sarah? Okay, that's enough of my voice. So quick says, I know Sonny's angry, but calm down because Ava is the treat. It's a treat Mason and Austin is. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Actually, it's probably quick. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like he should have probably been a little bit more angrier. Samuel says the show is progressing, but not in a way that makes sense. A lot of these stories have holes in them. Isn't the threat? I mean, oh, okay. Well, no, I felt like because especially little Avery's involved in all this nonsense. So, like at the very least, I felt like he should have been more angrier. You know, being like, why is my daughter involved in all this nonsense? But I don't know. I don't know. It's funny. It's funny because you do talk about disjointed. B&B. You got Finn that's act. Now you got Finn that's not there acting like a damn zombie. You know, I feel like this is going to be one of those things where it's like Steffi winds up leaving him because of his out of nowhere relationship with Sheila. Sammy says Carly is selling her house, but we don't see her wrestling with that. She just put it on the market. Hmm. Kind of like more like an off, what you call it, like an off screen kind of scene. Why is it? LaShawn said Dr. Finn needs to be the co-chief of staff with Terry. You know they're gonna sit there and eventually wind up doing that. Lisa says you love Ava's character. Ron says I bet the host of the podcast was saying to local fans they need to stop harassing the actors because they're oh man. Now Lashata says Dante's too nosy. He's a cop though. He's a cop. What do you mean he's too nosy? Simon says GH is doing too much telling and not enough showing. Like Y and R. Like Y and R. But you know how it is. You know how the internet is, Ron. There's people to this day. I feel like there's a dedicated amount of people that will sit there and harass Law Wright. Like there's no tomorrow. Like Quick says, well, that's why he shouldn't be mad because they treat Avery. Because what if Ava told Sonny right away and got caught? Ava could have died. Yeah, I'm not following that. But to be fair, I wasn't following what you were saying yesterday when you said that Betty was worse than Gladys. That still had my head spinning. Simon says Weiner is showing me enough to understand more than GH. No, but sometimes they do a lot more telling than showing. Gemini says besides Steffi, Finn also has to answer to his mom Lee for the way he's treating Sheila. Oh, I forgot about that. Lee hates Sheila. Gus and doesn't want to hear. Yes, that's actually very true. Thank you, Gemini, for bringing that up. John says that we definitely getting closer to the fake Roscoe reveal. Sancho said, do they solve any crimes? Carrie says, same at times. I was almost struggling with my school paper, which I ended up getting an A on anyways, but partly you inspired me to keep going. That's what's up. Becky D says they need to take care of Gladys once and for all and get Sasha out of that awful place. I think it's just a closet to park them in a while. They work on other storylines for a minute. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. Ron says and fans are well, again, I hasten it to saying like that's a blanket statement, like, oh, it's the internet. But people feel really ballsy. Dewan says, where's Gladys? Well, she's not in hell, so Lashanta says Finn is very disrespectful to Lee. I just find the whole thing just so funny because I look at that and I'm like, it's Flat Craig's not gonna be Faith is either someone in Ava's family or Connie may be missing Miss Wu or Jennifer Smith. And Rihanna says, ready for Gladys to go. Yeah, you and like pretty much this whole chat. And LaShawn says, where's Leslie Charles coming back to GH? That's a really good question. Duan says, LOL. But yeah, that's a really good question. I totally forgot about that. I know that she was on a horse or whatever, she got hurt, but that was quite a while ago. Yes, Valley, it is. Dougie says, I don't believe that they will get rid of Betty character now that she made such an impact already. Oh no, she's not going nowhere. Yes, congratulations, Kyrie. Congratulations, Kyrie. Seriously. Samuel says Clyde is better to go to jail once they find out what she and the doctor has done to Sasha. Maybe. Darby says maybe Finn is playing Sheila. It's funny too, because it's actually kind of funny because I remember Bill was doing the exact same thing, and I was like, "Yo, what's going on with this dude? Why is he acting like a zombie?" He wasn't. DC says I was hoping Gladys was going to turn over a new leaf too. She did for a little bit. Nikisha would have Austin wasn't just hiking when he helped Maxie give birth, but I was doing something nefarious in the woods. Like says Finn what? What do you mean? Well, there's two Finns. There's General Hospital Finn, and then there's Bold and the Beautiful Finn. So we might be talking. They might be snipped talking about B&B Finn. Singer says Leslie is too old. She's staying. She's at home chilling. Her GH days are over. She may come back when show honors. Oh god. Rashawn says, "Ooh, I hope not, Nikisha." Lashawn says Todd Manning needs to come back to GH. Now, DC says the judge in Sheila's case, though, was right, though, from a legal standpoint, evidence obtained illegally can be admissible, so he had to protect his child, which I get. Unfortunately, and that's the problem of DC. It's like they work with the FBI. So, like, what does that say about that? It's like throughout soap operas, all these characters, all these cops are just generally um yeah, me too, Jess. I hope it's gonna be good. Spider says, but someone catch me up on Faith Roscoe, Spider says. The end of the day, fan is entitled to feel how he wants to feel. If he feels a connection to Sheila, he's a grown man. It's his choice as long as he keeps Sheila away from his family. No, Becky D. This is General Hospital's Faith that Spy Quick is talking about. Just says I'm coming from Nathaniel after reviews. Yeah, no, Spy Quick is talking about General Hospital's Faith Roscoe. DC says, and the FBI should have known better and done their due diligence, gotten the proper clearance and search warrants. They're slipping. They are slipping, but I'm just like, yes, another group of another law enforcement um is being incompetent. Poor Charles and um I don't know how Days is as far as their cop stuff, but like Quick says, was she good in the mob? I know she was in the mob, but I'm gonna leave that to somebody else who actually watched the show a little bit longer than me. Christian says Brooke told Rich that she saw Thomas and Hope in bed together. Yeah, I sat there, was like, I was like, you faithless, like you sold out your own daughter, like really? But yeah, no, Spike Quick wants to know about Faith Roscoe, and that's General Hospital Faith Roscoe. I feel like the alcohol's starting to kick in a little bit. Ron says, Albert, you keep on saying that the FBI, for as long as we know Bill and Rich did something illegal, and they hired someone posing. Ron, do you actually believe that they hired a fake that they hired? Yeah, thank you. You actually believe that Bill and Rich hired somebody to pose as an FBI agent? You really believe that, Ron? Darby says anyone knows that Rich didn't use the black cop he and his family normally use. Rest. I forgot that guy's name too. I know he's a commentator on like sports stuff. Jimmy says, I'm sorry, but Finn has got to get a clue. Sheila has shown him that she doesn't give a damn about nothing but herself and what she wants. Finn is being dumb, but Liam needs to mind his business. Gary says Brooke has been with like 100 men in 1,000 men in her life and folk wants to have fun, let her. DC says now what Bill should have done was in surveillance told Sheila he has cameras in his house. Yeah, I mean, but but that's the problem, DC. I feel like it should have been. Here's the thing: it should have been up to the FBI to make sure that things were running smooth. It shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been Bill's job to make sure that they were doing stuff like legit and legal and stuff. Like he's a civilian, you know. It doesn't make sense. Ron says, for all we know, this person is an FBI agent and could be a stranger they paid. Is that what you really want to believe, Ron? That Bill played a stranger, paid a stranger to be an FBI agent? This is where we're going with Ron? Ron. LaShawn says Bill Spencer needs to find another woman. Kate is with Carter. Walter. Walter. You know, LaShawn, the problem is budget. I don't think that they have the budget to get somebody new. They don't have options. This is what I said during my Wayne Talk Soap video. They don't have options. DC says because someone doesn't know if they're being recorded. No, I get that. But my whole thing is like that should have been on the F. Like this whole thing is stupid. Let's just be honest. Nikki said, Ron, but why? Like, why would they have someone pose as an FBI agent behind closed doors? All the FBI dude did was surveillance. That's a question for you. I wanna try to do that soon. I want to sit there and try to shoot for next month. It's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna try to do it for next month. Spike Wig. Melly Mel is in the chat. What's good, Melanie? The one says always ship Bill and Taylor. Bill and Taylor, okay. Interesting. But yeah, no, Spike Quick. I want to sit there and try to shoot for next month. It's gonna be difficult, but I'm trying to make it work. Jakaris, what's good, Jakaris? And Sheila goes back to why now, who would you want to see her go toe to toe with? And that's a good question. I have no idea. That's a really good question. Let's everyone say what's up to Jakaris. She says no, it's the one guy who really wants Sheila. She won't give him the time of day. It's always like that in life. Oh yeah, Mike, Mike, the ultimate simp, the best simp. Uh, I don't know. Hopefully, get some people to come through. It'll be a lot of fun. It's a really amazing looking place too, though. You're right, Jonathan. Because don't they actually have some? I don't know if they have like history, but I know they share like family, though, right? Ron says Sheila is. Nikisha, but that's not my question. My question is why would they hire a fake FBI agent for surveillance? I don't get it. Ron, that question's for you. DC says I think it's because Mike can't afford Sheila anything. Sheila likes her a high value man. Hmm, damn. I don't even know what to say to that one. Jakar says, Albert, what was your thoughts about what you thought about? Yeah, you know, Jakar, somebody else told me about that, so I'm gonna have to look into it because this is actually the first time I'm actually this is the first time I'm hearing about it. So once I read about it, then I will definitely let you know if I don't do a video on it. Becky D says, Albert, the one you did with JLJ, Brock, and of course DC was really good. I liked it because we got, yeah, no, I loved it. I loved it for so many different reasons. It was always working. It's always fun working with DC, even though he was also roasting me tonight in this chat. But it was good. It was good to work with DC, and of course, two legends like Brock and James. Even though DC was roasting me in the chat today. Um, but yeah, no, it was fun. So we're gonna sit there and try to do it again. I'm sorry if I'm missing people comments in the chat. DC says all the men Sheila has pursued was high value men. Scott Gaynor, Sir Eric Forster, Bill Spencer. She barely gave Deacon the time of day. uh, Nikisha, I thought you would actually learned that from me talking to her. I think I was like, I'm saying that was like, I thought you would have probably learned that from me talking to him, but I give you props though. DC says people usually go after folks who they feel are offer them something they don't already have. Becky says Albert DC was one to really roasting you if he did love you man. Oh no, DC's my guy. I'm just saying. I was literally getting roasted in the chat. And DC was just like, well, see, this is what happens when you sit there and flex. I'm like, thanks, DC. Appreciate that. Big Nate's in the chat. What's good, Nate? No, and that's the thing. That's the thing, Nate. And no, she's not, Spikequake. No, it's actually the first time I'm actually hearing about this. Damn, this is crazy. The girl says, yeah, I had no idea about this stuff. Carrie says, no problem. I repeat it. If you get Dimitri or Zeke or Kayla to attempt, I'll drop everything and everyone to attempt. So all I got to do is get those three names. Not three, Dimitri. Yeah, three names. Okay. I thought it was okay. I can't give a number. I was just gonna say like maybe a six. Maybe a six. Maybe a five. I was thinking give it a five. No, I'm gonna give it a five, by the way. I'm gonna give it a five. Sammy says, I'm still mad that Lauren doesn't know that Sheila is alive. Yeah, no, you're right, Jakars. That's a real thing. Jarvo says, I love your video about B&B Kyries. So Jarvo says, I love your video about B&B Kyries. DC says, like Nick, he liked him a damsel in distress. This is why Nick would never pursue a woman he views as independent and can stand on her own. Tell me I'm lying without telling me I'm lying. Jackie P's in the chat. Was good, Jackie P? Okay. Spike Quick says, is it the villain that doesn't? No, it's not. It's just, honestly, tell you the truth, it's just the whole thing. It's not terrible. I just like, I don't know. The kid said, Ron, I'm confused. Can you elaborate? Elaborate, Ron. I feel that's oh wow. Damn, that's great. I'm so you know, Jakars, the more okay, it's funny that you asked that. I think about it, the more I feel like she may not be pregnant. I feel there's a good chance she may not be pregnant. Akeisha, Ron, does that mean you aren't going to keep saying it over and over again? Just making sure I understand what's happening. Good luck understanding that. Did you get a drink before you tried to understand what did are you gonna get a drink before you try to understand that? Hello, what's happening? What's happening is I think that she's gonna need a drink to understand what Mr. Ron is saying. Ron said LaShawn should be Bill and so should Bill Ridge and also Taylor and Steph be in jail. Are you want all four of those characters in jail? So quick says know what I I would know what I think might happen. Hmm. Nikisha Albert now. So, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Nikisha. I'm sorry to hear that. You should. What word of advice? You might want to sit there and get unsober. You might want to not be so sober to sit there and have this conversation. Because I mean, have you paid attention to me actually having this conversation with my boy Ron? Jakara says Brady, Bell, and Eric are both trash. Well, yeah, because Eric is a bum. You know what? I can see all three of them being trash. Harry says, "Oh, Albert, you only have to get one of those three to appear, not all three. Even though I packed three blank just in case. Got to play it safe or search hard for lookalikes." Well, playing it safe, playing it safe. So Quick says, "Know what I think it might happen." No, it is. I don't understand how you get Jack versus Abbott vibes. I mean, Jack versus Ashley vibes. Why is it? He said, "Well, that took a hard turn." LaShanta said, "What?" LaShanta says, "Eric is no bum." Okay, what job does he have? How does this man spend his time throughout his days? 'Cause I'm pretty sure he does not work at the Brady pub. Um, Maybe his dad lets him work there every now and then. But listen, he was okay. He was not a bum when he was a priest. He was not a bum when he was working um at Basic Black. But now he's a bum now, unless he has some sort of new job that I don't know about. Johnson says the more Brady tries to keep Kristen out of Rachel's life, the more Rachel will resist. Exactly. You would honestly sit there and think of some. I mean, granted, like, oh no, don't stop now, Jess. Um, but no, you would honestly think that's the problem, Jonathan. That Brady's an idiot. Ron says Eric doesn't have a job, but he has Marlena to take care of him. So he doesn't have a job, but his mom's going to take care of him. That's cool. That's fine. What is this guy like 40 or something like that? That makes sense. Dakar says Brady doesn't have no reason to throw stones at Kristen after what he did. He fries Stephanie's brain, blackmail Chloe, really, and even kill Daniel. DC says one thing that Brady doesn't understand is you can never keep the other parent out of their lives. If they want to be involved, it will be a fight forever. Johnson says, I bet Stefano would love Rachel. Yeah. I bet, even the actor, because the actor seemed like he was really cool back in the day. Um, LaShawn says, is Sal back on contract? That's the woman that plays Lonnie, right? W says, I understand about Eric forgiving Brady threatening Kristen with a gun in front of Rachel, but the one I have a problem with is Bella, who hears that and always finds a way to defend terrible actions. Yeah, no, and I know she's doing that because, yeah, he seemed like he was actually really cool. He seemed like he was like a really just, Becky did said to be fair, Eric has always had some type of little job. Priest, Brady Pop, photographer, just always been something. I think it's one of those off screen things, what happens in soaps since the 80s. Yeah, I mean that's cool. I just want him to have some sort of a job. This way I don't have to keep calling him a bum for being with hot women that have high paying jobs and this dude, you know. Ron says good night, Albert, and everyone in the chat. See you again tomorrow night. Gonna be watching Deacon and Sheila getting busy. Ron, everyone. Ron. Jimmy said, does Kristen understand that because she would be doing the same thing to Brady if she had custody of Rachel? Nope, she is not a good mother. She is not a good mother. I don't even actually have to sit there and hesitate on that one, Jakari's. Harry said I spent yesterday video to I sent yesterday's video to my friend. She was dying laughing. I went back to my high school days. Yeah, yeah, Mr. Gray actually found it a funny and interesting video as well. Harry's. Johnson said Joseph played an evil character for years, but he was one of the nicest guys in real life. LaShanta says Deacon got a job and he's still a bum. Well, he's a bum with money. He's a bum with money. I don't understand how you put bum and money in the same sentence, but okay, sure. Meanwhile, Erica's walking around town with empty pockets. Come on now. Let's be real. That'd be interesting, LaShawn. W says if you say that he's her brother, well, F that, that makes me want to throw up. Who said that? Uh-oh. Harry says, I know Mr. Gray. Oh, nice. Okay, that's what's up. Harry says, Albert, can I ask you a question? What character on each soap that you loathe? Gladys on GH. Harry's mom on B&B. I'm starting to loathe Phyllis on Y&R. And Days? I don't have one. I don't have one for Days. Have a good night, Jarvis. Thank you for joining. Jimmy says, "Oh, Deacon knows a restaurant. He ain't no. Yeah, that's I'm." LaShawn says, "I will take Eric over Deacon and Zadie and Xander." So let me get this straight. I'm sorry. Let me get this straight. You rather sit there and you rather pass up two successful men To be with someone with empty pockets. Is that what you're saying? This is what we're doing now? We want to go backwards in life? You and me walking around town with Mr. Empty Pockets? This is what we doing now? DC says Eric gets away with it because he's hot. He's a hot bum, like how everyone looks past Ben. Yeah, but Ben has a job. You know what? That's actually still bad. He has a job. Okay. Yeah. Hey. Okay. All right. Listen, LaShawn. That's that's cool. That's cool. Hey, listen. We got different standards in life. Some people like to go with guys that have jobs, and some people like to stroll with men with empty pockets. That's cool. That's. DC says a working man is a good looking man. Well, apparently somebody who have empty pockets is also doable. So, Kerry says if yeah, but if the Samuel says, I mean, Eric comes from money. He doesn't have to work. He does from he has money. What from who? Who does he actually have money from? Because I want to know. Samuel says Eric comes from money. Where? What family member actually has money? Mel says Eric is always going to have Nicole in her heart, and so will never be Nicole. Eric and Nicole. That's all I'm going to sit there and say about that. You know how I feel about those two. LaShanta Stuffy should have a security camera at the Cliff House. Like that's really going to matter. Like that's really going to matter. He's literally a Kyriakis. Yes. Hmm. Well, then technically Brady. Well, Brady has a job. I. He literally is a Kyriakis. I. Now Johnson says Eric is a Brady. That's a good that's a good question, Spider Quake. He said you can work and still have empty pockets. I know plenty of working men that still are still broke. Yeah, but they're trying though, Nikisha. They're trying. They are getting up. They're doing their thing. Now, if they're bad with money, that's something different. But you got somebody in the chat that's in there basically saying that they're gonna pick a bum over two dudes that actually have jobs. So Simmons says his mama was a Kardashian. Uh, um, Kyriakis. Oh, you mean Marlena? I'm sorry, I'm thinking about Brady. Jeez, I'm tired. Yeah, I was like, what argument? I was like, what case are we trying to make for an unemployed man? Like, but I'm glad we figured that out, Samuel. Jakara said Brooke is really a Jezebel who will still walk around with her lingerie. I'm cool with that. Than messing around with every man she sees or sleeps with. Well, first of all, I like the name Jezebel. I love the name Jezebel, and of course, I always find it to be a double standard. DC says at this stage in the game, I wouldn't date someone who doesn't have a job. Relationship costs money. Yes, they do. They do cost money. LaShawn says, say my name, say my name. Quick says, Albert, let them choose bums. No, listen, I'm not mad at them. I'm just not just saying, if everyone has standards. Some people, they shoot for the stars, and other people you know, shoots for people who, you know what? Let me just stop right there. Um, hey, some people just like bums. Cool. Simon says Eric has money from the church. Listen, when he was a priest, I didn't care. All right. LaShawn says Lonnie Price brand should get a job working at Black Patch. That would be what's up. He said jobs and chemical don't mean the same thing. Some folks are born into money, not me, but some folks. Hmm. She's right about that. Akeisha is right about that. Eric is still a bum, so that doesn't change anything, but yeah. Jakara says, name any Jezebel and soap I want to hear. I don't know. See, with that, for me personally, that always bothers me. That always bothers me, right? First of all, I do like the name Jezebel. I do like that. But whenever people sit there and say Jezebel or they say anything like that, it's just like, just as still better to date someone with a job. Yes, of that paper curtain. Yeah, no, me too. Harry says, Albert is low key jealous of Eric. The quickest all I know is I wouldn't date no girl unless they got a job. Well, you know what? I'm drunk, but I'm not that drunk. All right, Nikisha, I will. I will. What the hell? I will get rid of that tomorrow. Is that the burns? Exactly, Lord B. The burns are not stopping. They are not stopping. Damn. It's okay, uh, Queen Nikisha got me with another burn, but I will take that down tomorrow. Samuel says they don't make Jezebels like they used to. Oh, and Lord B, you still remember the name Albie. I love it, Lord B. I love it. Tina from see, but that's the thing though. See, that's the thing that always blows me, right? That's the thing that always blows me. Okay, that's the thing that always fires me up. Let me rephrase that. Phyllis is a Jezebel. Really quick says I'm happy we got a train up break. Okay. Um okay, you know what? Screw it. How many men in this show, how many men in these soap operas are Jezebels? Hmm? How many men in the show are Jezebels? See, because that's the one thing that will blow me up. You're right, Nikisha, you're right. You're right. Um, but how many men on this show are considered to be Jezebels? Because people oh yeah, no, I'm just getting tag team tonight. I'm just getting tag team tonight. Oh, you felt that, Jess? Listen, I've been feeling that all night. I've been feeling that all night. I'm surprised I'm still standing at this point. I should have been like evaporated. But see, that's my whole thing though. Like, whenever a woman, because that's the thing, whenever a woman on any of these soap operas sleep with a certain amount of men, they're called all sorts of names, right? But what would Xander be called? Hmm? Xander sleeps around with different women and stuff like that throughout the soap opera time, right? Men will sit there and sleep with different women on these shows, but they don't get called those names, you know? Okay, all right, good, good, good. Okay, all right. Samuel says Alex is a Jezebel. I like that. Jakara says Reg is a Jezebel. Okay. Lord B said I've been needs lotion for those. Oh, yeah, I was getting burnt up. Oh, here we go. Takara says Sunny is a whole nother Jezebel. Look at all the yes. Okay, there we go. DC says Johnny on days is a Jezebel, just a nicer one. Okay, I like these names so far. Let's keep them going. Let's keep them going, people. Oh, and Samuel also says Sunny is also a Jezebel. Okay. Hmm. Who else is it? Who else is a Jezebel? Who what other men on the show on these soap operas are Jezebels? Okay. All right. Samuel said Jack was once a Jezebel. Okay. Darby says Hosanna is a guy. It's a double standard with guys and dating apart from dating from women. Becky D says that's the double standards we women face in real life. No, I know that. I know that. That's always, that's why I always find it very interesting. DC says Nate is kind of a Jezebel, but a good, he's really good art though, so I can't say him. Okay. Yes, that's correct, Jonathan. They are male versions of, yeah. Demetrius is Jezebel. Rex, okay. Jakar says Ron from Like to Live is a Jezebel. Oh, okay, cool. And I'm a Jezebel as well. That's awesome. Thank you, Samuel. I appreciate that. Samuel says Stefano the mayor was a Jezebel until he died. Okay. Eric Foster, I like that. Duane. Bobby says that's for acknowledging double. Oh yeah, no, of course. I just because my whole thing is like when Jakars is like, oh, this person's a Jezebel. I was like, all right, so how many men in this show is a Jezebel? Oh, hold on. Johnson says, then you can put Liam Spencer on that list as a Jezebel. Okay. Now, Jakar said how even Dante from GH is a Jezebel. Oh, yeah. I was going to sit there and say, yeah, thank you. DC says EJ is a Jezebel as well. I like that. I like that. Oh, Jakar says Thomas from BNB is a sexy Jezebel. Um, Becky says is what it is. Always found it frustrating because it's the blank that are the first to accuse you of being one. For me, I guess, my whole thing is like, oh, Lisa says Sally Spectre is a Jezebel. Simon says, but Jezebels ain't Jezebel like they used to. This is fun. I was like, I feel I'm gonna be honest. I feel like there's some people that's missing in that Jezebel category. Mel says the story with Xander and Sarah are having a baby, just taking long for Xander to find out. Well, yeah, that's true. Lashanta says Tom doesn't sleep around. Yeah, okay. Becky D says, "Ella, almost all men on soaps are. Most women are too hard to think of anyone who isn't a Jezebel on soaps." But see, that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though, Becky D. There's a There's a lot of men that are Jezebels, but what do we sit there and talk about? Brooke is the S in the valley. Audra's an S. It's like, also, I feel like people may be a little bit too comfortable saying those terms sometimes, which is like amazing to me. Oh, DC says Asa Buchanan from Like to Live was definitely a Jezebel. Samuel says Marlena was a Jezebel. DC said Victor was a Jezebel. And Samuel says John Black was a Jezebel. Okay. Oh, Duane says Bill Spencer is a Jezebel. Curry says Willow is not. Okay. Curry says, but guys will F around all day long and still be called Mr. So at the end of the day, it's a messed up double standard. Exactly. And that's, well, yeah, no, we talking about men. Dakar says Abby from YNR is a whole different. Phyllis is a Jezebel. Eric Foster, yeah, somebody else also said that. And yep, Johnson says Sheila definitely is a Jezebel. Okay. Well, yeah, but that's men. I mean, that's women. The point was to sit there. Okay. The point was to sit there and see how many men are Jezebels. And we're not talking about women. We talking about men. There's a point that, well, most people probably already got, or everyone already got. So, like I said, I just find it I find it very interesting that people. Okay, now Mel says Nick is a Jezebel. Okay. I just find it very funny that people are just so cute. Oh, Edward Quartermain, DC says it's Jezebel. Mel says Kyle is a Jezebel. Singer says Jill was a huge Jezebel in the 80s and 90s. Gemini says Albert, but Brooke and Audrey are Jezebels, and they are women like Brooke who are always in. I get what you're saying. I do, Gemini, but that wasn't the point that they're trying to like make. Because people are way too. Here's the thing: people are way too comfortable. Johnson says Nicholas Castine is Jezebel. I just feel like people are way too comfortable. Are way too comfortable. Constantly calling women out for the same thing that men do on these shows. Okay, men do stuff, Ridge and stuff like that. They do stuff like that, but no one sits there and say, "Oh, Nate is an S," or "Nate is a hoe," or anything like that. I always find it very, very funny. Oh, Samuel says Tucker is a Jezebel. Okay, we Mel said Devon is a Jezebel. Okay, I'm just gonna assume that y'all are right because some of these people I don't know. DC says I know back in undergrad there was this one guy who was kind of a Jezebel type of dude because he said we're almost with most of the guys on the campus and half the soccer team, and allegedly I fell for him. Allegedly. Okay. Let's making sure we keep the words allegedly. Okay, cool. That's important. That's very important. Okay, Lashanta says AJ Quartermain. Mel says Devon. Whoa. What almost sound like a compliment, Darby? Let me just go. Terry says Padonna came through with the honey and fixed Eric's equipment. She did. She was thinking outside the box. She was kinky, and I loved it. Unlike Quinn, I was being all stiff about it. Of course, it didn't move down. The Jakar says we almost have so many man whores themselves. Exactly, but no one talks about it. That's my point. That's my point. Mel said, yeah, somebody. Oh, yeah, okay. Victor is a Jezebel in Days of Our Lives. Okay. Harry says, I guess the honey gave her powers. Honey on Donna gives me. Hmm, not me. Gemini says people are comfortable because that is the society that we live in. Women lie about their playing partners not to be called it. Yeah, exactly. And I can't stand. Oh, okay. So Johnson says Carter is a Jezebel. Mel says Rafe is a Jezebel. Debbie says Alan Quatermain. Okay, but that's my whole thing. People be way too comfortable calling Brooke all sorts of names, right? Especially names as far as how many partners she's been with, which I'm not a fan of it. That's why if you haven't noticed, whenever I do a review or I talk about stuff or women or whatever, I don't call people those names. I don't feel comfortable calling people those names. I don't understand how people feel comfortable just calling somebody the S word. That's good. I think I already got a yellow dot sign at this point. But calling somebody a slut because of how many people they've been with. Like people get way too comfortable. I think that's my general point. Gemini says society's double standards when it comes to women on soaps portray what the world thinks. Yeah. But not just soaps in real life too. Mel says Jack is a Jezebel. That's very true, Jakars, but no one sits there and call him anything. Becky G says, "Thank you, Albert. I do appreciate more. I do appreciate that more than you know." No, no. I listen, Becky. I feel like it bothers me. That's my whole thing. That's why I said it. And I just sometimes I sit there and wonder, like, how do people feel? How do people feel so comfortable just saying that because they've been with a certain amount of partners? Uh, just say yeah, double standard. Yeah, yeah. Someone says, I think for a long time, online insult men have been seen as fallen victims to women who use their. Yeah, it just bothers me. Lisa, well, yeah, I mean, but that's the thing though, Lisa. Lisa, we're talking about the queen of okay. Harry says because Brooke is a blank, she deserves the title. She's been with her daughter's men, her sister men. She has no morals, so she deserves no respect. You know what? At running the risk of Smith saying this, that's not true. Nearly every person on this planet deserves respect. I mean, Grant, yes, Brooke has done some very foul. Thank you, Mal. Brooke has done some very foul things, right? We can call her a lot of different things, but to sit there and say that she doesn't deserve any respect, I'm not gonna lie, that just kind of bothers me a little bit. Like, wow. Like I said, I'm not Smithy trying to impede anyone on how they think, but me personally, hmm, doesn't really doesn't sit right with me. Becky D said, I appreciate you standing up for women in general. Yeah, I think it's just one of those things that's just a pet peeve that just bothers me. You know, Jakar says, "Remember Sonny slept with Ava at that crib?" Yeah, I don't think anyone can actually forget that. Harry says the biggest problem for me is not that Brooke is a blank. She got the nerve to talk about other people. Yeah, no, it's definitely her being a hypocrite. Sammy says, but I also feel like people when it's lose like behavior, but they want to be respected. You can't have it both ways. I feel like these new people don't want to accept that. Yes, again, you can. At the end of the day, you're basically just saying that I shouldn't be who I want to be. Like that's. Have a night, Gemini. Just that while so just because someone is in a certain way, it's a certain way, they shouldn't be respected. Yeah, I said the exact same way. And just to Brady is a Jezebel. Simon says both men and women can be. Mm, mm, uh, I, part of me feels like I'm getting into like dangerous territory, but the other part of me is just so like bothered by that. Have certain ways about them. DC says because the thing is you gotta be kind of moderate, and it's not too much. It's not so much about blank, but when someone reveals too much too soon, people naturally lose respect. Does it make it right? No, but it happens. Elaborate on that, please. Elaborate on that. Because I mean, I do feel alone. I'm afraid nobody doesn't want me. What makes you feel that way though? If you don't mind me asking that, Jakars. Harry says the way Brooke treats people like Quinn and Shauna, then Stephanie, she had the nerve to blank those three women when she's the original. Okay, so I get that part, Kyries. It's more of okay, so it's more of the hypocrite. It's more about being a hypocrite towards you doing stuff and somebody else does it. I understand that, but I feel like there's an underlying. I get your I get it. It's about Brooke being a hypocrite towards. Yeah, I get that. Now, DC says it's like when someone overshares. Are they being vulnerable and open? Sure, but some people may feel they're doing too much and step on them at the same time. Happy night, Laura B. Just that say you have while it says you have to moderate, why can't you just be? Yes, thank you, Jess. I literally think that you literally just. Hmm. I rock with you. Harry says yes. That's why I came ever, and she never apologized either. Yeah, no, I get that. I get the her being the hypocrite for her saying things about other people that she's done herself. So I get that part. But I feel like there's an underlying issue to it. Sarah says people treat people by the way you show them. Unfortunately, if a person has met you and God damn it. Oh yeah, this video is definitely gonna get a yellow dot. People treat you by the way you show them. Unfortunately, if a person has met you in a certain way, that's how they're gonna treat you. And that unfortunately that person may be trashed in at that point. Um Cheyenne, what's good, Cheyenne? Chikara says it's just for me because of my personality. Sometimes I feel different, like everyone else. But that's not a bad thing, though, Chikara is. That is not a bad. That is not a bad thing. That is a very unique thing. Okay, I mean that's your opinion, but whatever, Cheyenne. Um, kind of an odd thing to say about, but whatever. And I agree with 100% what Jess said. Now, DC says what I'm saying. You be yourself, yes, but you don't gotta show all your cards at once, is what I'm saying. And not just with blank, but with everything else. Hmm. Yep, Mel, yeah, that's very true. Um, I just think that, you know what? Unfortunately, again, it just comes down to a double standard. You can have a guy and a woman sleep with the same amount of people, but a woman will sit there and be called all sorts of names in the book. And the fact that the thing that really actually blows me is that people feel so comfortable saying that. You know, Like that's what really blows me. Is just like, how does those words just come out of your mouth so easily? You know, that's what generally tends to blow me. That lady, I hope Sonny doesn't use this against Ava. I remember we had this talk. I remember having this talk because I was just saying that she should have said this in the beginning. Riley says, sounds like members only tonight. Yeah, it's actually kind of amazing that there's a lot of people here that are members. Sam, you should become a member. Seriously. Simon says, I treat everyone with respect, but I'm also a realist. We live in a society that shames people for being blank. Me and DC didn't make the rules. We are just example. Yeah, but see, okay, but see, that's the thing though. Okay, so Sam, you're snitching saying that you didn't make the rules, right? But you may not be making the rules, but you're continuing that behavior. You're continuing that cycle. That's that's the that's the problem. You didn't make the rules, but you're going along with it. So Jakara says, I have a question for you, Albert and everyone. Do you sometimes feel ignored in the world? Hmm. Yes, I felt that way. I felt that way before. Absolutely. DC says, and what cycle is that? Is what Samuel said. He just said that we don't make the rules, but it is what it is. So basically, it's saying, well, I don't make the rules, but I'm going to sit there and treat you like that because that's just what it is. And I feel like that's what I'm sitting there saying. And also, Samuel, you're my guy and everything like that, but Snitch is saying, well, I didn't make the rules, but I'm just going to go along with it anyway. I get that. Doesn't make it right, and that's why and that's the thing. That's exactly why I continue to call it out. Becky D says, what people accept and continue is what remains our prevented attitude. That's true. All right, DC says, I personally wouldn't care how many partners the guy has, but it would concern me as to what's going on with him mentally. Is if it's like over 100, like, why can't you commit? Yeah, just I agree with that. I agree with that part, but Curry says, I don't know if I ignored, but I felt lonely in the past. So I understand what you're going through, Chikars. Curry says, who's going to admit you had 100 lovers? No, well, yeah, I mean, I get that, but like, I understand that. Um, I'm just, my whole thing is like, I'm just not okay with. It's like perpetuating violence. It's just like, well, it is what it is. So whatevs. DC says because when I first met someone, I first analyzed the relationship they had. No, I get that, and that's more of a tell time. That's more of a tell sign than anything else. No, I get that part. Similar says how I'm a gay man. I know how many people already view me, so I'm sure I'm not going around people who deem me less than, and they damn sure can't show you up for me. Nikisha, okay, I just got back. Who's been with 100 people? Becky D says 100% is a lot. No blank for them until after a. Well, yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. And I get that. No, LaShanta says, Albert, if a woman makes more money than a man, will he feel some kind of way? Some people do. Some people do. And yes, Curry says you just Here says you have to be able to love yourself before you love someone else. Huh. You have never spoken more true words, Curries. This is even with just your image. I wish people didn't judge solely on how you carry yourself. Yes. Yeah, I agree with that. Oof. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm gonna take a commercial break, as they say. Actually, I have to get up. This sucks. But I don't really saying what's coming out. TC is about how you carry yourself does matter. In fact, if someone have 100 partners, if how they yeah, no, I get that part because it's more of a mental thing. And yes, thank you, Darby. Hit the like button. It really does actually help. It really does. Simon says, and yeah, it's more of a mental thing. I get that part that he's saying. Simon says, I think for me, I see it as something is going on with that mentally to have so many partners. Hmm, I get that. I do. And yes, thank you, Darby. These I once went on a date years ago with a guy who admitted to me he did. Excuse myself. I was younger at the time. And didn't even DC. Okay, so okay. Now I'm gonna sit there and ask this question, and you can choose to answer this or not answer this. Would you go out with somebody now who did that stuff? I get back then you were younger and stuff like that, but would you do that now? What's his number? And that's the thing now. All right, I'll be right back. Dakota says, I can't deal with dating a famous person, even paparazzis. Every paparazzi is going to follow you everywhere. Well, what about, what if it's Carson Boatman? What if it's Carson Boatman, Jakar is? That's my question I got for you, athletes. Yeah, but what if it's, like I said, what if it's, Carson Boatman? Well, says I think Victor is wanting to hire Sally just to keep an eye on her. Heard that there's a catch. Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing, Mel. I haven't watched the show as long, but Victor doesn't do anything without a rhyme or a reason. You know. Okay, I came back and clearly I'm lost about what's going on in the chat. Yes, and now we are back to the soap chat, which I honestly thought you stopped being a soap chat like 15 something minutes ago. Jakar says, "Oh wow, I can handle that, but I'd rather hide my identity." Really? It's it's Carson Boatman. I was here's the thing. I was sit there and think you'd be more like, yeah, I'm dating Carson Boatman. You know, like that. I mean, it's Carson Boatman. It's Carson Boatman. Like, come on. That's something to be proud of. Like, celebrate that. DC says, like, if I can't mentally connect with someone, there's no way I can be intimate. Really? Hmm, okay, that's interesting. Sarah says, I would like to see an HRA storyline and soap opposite. That'd be interesting. But really? I can't handle the pressure of fame. Sammy says Carson Bowman ain't that big of a celebrity. Okay, maybe. Oh, okay. Um, DC says if I met a guy and he tells me his ambitions for the whole world to know his name, I have to excuse myself. I'm sorry, I don't do celebrities or people who. I'm sorry. Wait. Okay, so I'm a little behind on the. So DC, are you saying that you wouldn't go out with somebody who is a celebrity? Because I feel like I'm asking the wrong question. You could okay, so DC, you say you couldn't be intimate with somebody who you couldn't connect with on a mental level. Is that what you're saying? I feel like this is a two-part question. Yeah, but I mean that was a long time ago. Spike Quick. He's talking about now. DC says, "I want a guy who wants to live on a farm and maybe raise a few chickens with me and go eating pizza at a local." Hmm. Oh, my bad. No, 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 no. You did you? Oh, oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind. Okay. All right. Hmm. But DC, what if they're really good? Okay, so what if they're really good looking now? DC, what if they're actually really good looking? You tell me that you can like. Mel Saber, how do you feel about Leon and Love starting gossip column about? Um, you know what I liked about that scene, Mel? The flashback, like the old school Jack and stuff like that. I love that part. She has value. She definitely has. But no, DC, what if they were like really good looking? You tell me that you wouldn't hook up with them just okay, hold on. DC says, but what's the good looking gonna do for me when my mental health gonna go down the drain after being hmm, you know, it's actually a really good point, DC. Yes, that's very true, Dewan. It's the same actress. Oh wow, actually you're right, it's the same actress. Damn, I didn't think of that. Oh, DC, I would sit there and say you definitely you're ahead of me, DC. I'll tell you that much. You are ahead of me. I mean, no, I mean, granted, to be fair, DC, yes. Could I actually be with somebody if I wasn't mentally, if we weren't like mentally on the same page on an intimate level? Yes. Could I date them? No. That's. I feel like those two could be exclusive. Yes, by quick she is. Well, the actress that plays Olivia Jerome is on another show. And I'm not gonna lie, I totally forgot about that until Duan says something. So who's the mystery shooter? Spikequake. Jimmy says I love to see so tell the story of straight men and how he catches. Hmm. DC said anybody can look good in 2023. It's about perception. Some guys look average, but when the connection is there, they become sexier men to me, and it's like I don't see no one else. Hmm. I get that. Chigaro says, "What's your favorite game show?" I don't think I actually have a favorite game show. I don't think yeah, because I don't do game shows. That's the thing. I know they're nice for some people, but for me, if I can sit there and say one, and I know this is gonna sound really bad, if I could sit there and say one, I don't know, whatever Steve Harvey's doing, I usually find them very entertaining. No, Spike Quick, she can actually be on both shows. I don't think she's because I don't think she's contract, so she can be on Y&R and GH at the same time. DC says if I ever do online dating, it's going to be farmland only. I don't have time for these city guys. Hmm, very interesting. I don't know. I don't feel like those two are exclusive for me personally. You know, if we don't connect mentally, then we'll connect physically. But dating is completely different. Oh, Mel, you love Family Feud. Okay. But yeah, no, I wasn't going to say anything with Steve Harvey. He's really funny. He just says if Amish people were against gay marriage, I'll find me a good Amish man, move into the village. See, okay, here's the thing, DC. I can't tell if you're being serious or you're joking about the whole like low key finding a person that does like farming and just maybe I can. Maybe I can. Have a good night, Jakaris. Thank you for joining. I don't know if I can actually sit there and do like not be in the city and social media and I don't know. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I feel like the millennial and me just would not allow it. Simon says, or tell the stories of an older character catching blank and how they deal with it. Now that would definitely be interesting if they did it right. If they weren't heavy handed with it, like Riverdale is in the season. Johnson says, now take your answer as Family Feud. Yes. DC says I'm being serious. I told my mom that the other day, and she just looked at me like I was crazy. But yes, have a good night, Jakars. Sammy says I feel if like the story was more about Robin, I can see Dave's telling the story with Alex. DC says like we live on a farm, but I live near a city. Toby says you are a creature of the city, like most of us are. Yeah, that's. I was like, I could no, 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 no. I mean, listen, everyone has their lifestyles, and I respect everyone's lifestyle to some extent. But for me personally, yeah, I'm not doing that. The sad thing is, Darby, I was going to sit there and say I wouldn't do that, no matter how hot this person is. But now I'm just like, well, if this person's really hot, then I might actually have to sit there and be somewhat converted. So I can even sit there and say that, to be honest. Like if somebody wanted to live on the farm and they were actually like really good looking, yeah, I might actually have to then do that. And we connected on a mental level, then I can do that. Toby says I need the city sounds, smells, and locations. Yeah, I'm a city guy. I'm a city guy. DC says I hate cities growing up. They gave me anxiety. I used to cry when my parents brought me to NYC. As a kid, the busyness scares me. I can't explain it. Hmm, interesting. I mean, to be fair, DC, large cities do have their negatives. You got to deal with a lot of nut jobs, and that's not fun. Simeon says, I don't feel like so tell HY stories with promise characters. They make a good character fall in love, then they catch blank, and they're not in the story I want. And that's not the story I want. Okay, Sammy, you've been watching soap operas longer than me. Did they actually do a good storyline like that? Like, was Robin like a good storyline? Ariana says, "Can I have a more morning Starbucks?" Yes, you have a great night, Ariana. Seriously, it was really good to see you in the chat, as always. And thank you for having my back. I appreciate that. Thank you. Simon says, I want to live in the country, but close enough to get to the city. Sounds like you want the best of both worlds. Toby says, if Nate owns a farm, then DC, yep. DC says, honestly, wouldn't mind a city. Becky D says, I grew up in a city, and now that I'm older, I love a country living. The boonies isn't always a bad place to be in. Besides, Seattle is just 2.5. I can go play if I want. I can go play if I want. Okay, I like that. I like that, Becky D. I like that. Yes, it is always a blessing to see you. Seriously. DC says, but also I do like a guy who's seasoned. I wouldn't date someone who has never dated before. I'm not about to be someone's test driver. This isn't the dealership, but I appreciate it. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that, DC. I like that. Hmm. Yes, you have a great night, Ariana. Johnson says, but it's hard to get TV and internet in the countryside. Yeah, see, it is. It's very true. It's very true. It's one of those things. But that's the thing, Jonathan. That's why I say it's on a mental level. If it was just physical, it's like I don't know if I can sit there and just do that, you know. But on a mental level, hmm, I don't know. That's the thing, Jonathan. Sometimes your priorities tend to shift, right? Now, I see myself doing this for a very long time, and if I don't have good internet, then it's clearly not going to work out. But you just in general, Jonathan, your priorities shift depending on who you meet sometimes. DC says for real though, if the person is averse everything, they're going to figure out about everything like they don't. No way, Jose. Sammy says Robin was a good storyline, but she was main focus in talking about making a mixes promiscuous male character deal with catching blank and how they deal with it being the main focus. Sammy, the thing is, I feel like maybe if this was back like in the 80s or 90s and stuff like that, they would have done a storyline like that. I feel like today people are just so close minded and 80s and 90s or maybe even the 70s, it would have worked. Now, but I do like that. I do like that idea. Let me just ask. Well, yeah, I like that idea. DC says, well, you can get Wi-Fi in a farm, guys. It would obviously a modern farm. Give me some credit now. But no. But DC, how moderate though? How moderate are we talking about though, DC? Because it almost sounds like you want the best of both worlds. Like how moderate are we talking about? DC says I almost got involved with a guy who almost went pro, and I'm glad that would have been too much for me. Like a nice quiet life without money in our accounts. So DC, so what you're Smith is saying is that you would go out with somebody who has a job, though, right? Like you wouldn't go out with somebody who didn't have a job, right? No, yes, I'm still on that. Um, but you wouldn't go out with somebody who didn't have a job, right? Kyrie says, "Good night, Becky. Good night, DC. Good night, Jess. Good night, Nikisha. Good night, Jonathan. Good night, Melanie. Good night, Darby. Good night, Valerie. And good night, everyone else. Been fun. See y'all tomorrow. Yes, you have a great night, my friend Kyrie. Thank you so much for joining. Always good to sit there and chop it up with you, my friend. I was I was not making my man Kyrie's happy tonight in the beginning, but he's still my guy regardless. Have a good night, Duan. Thank you for joining. DC said yes, they have to have a job or a large savings or some type of income. Whatever comes first. Good. Okay, cool. So we're not promoting that thing. Good. We're not promoting going out with bums. Thank you. Thank you. Um, thank you, DC. Thank you, DC. Almost every farm here uses Wi-Fi in their barns to keep in touch with vendors and veterinarians and to keep an eye on the animals. Okay, good. Wow, you definitely improved then. Okay. Have a good night, Empire. Thank you for joining. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It's kind of funny because I didn't think I was actually still gonna be up this late. But yes, you have a great night, Empire. And I'm seeing so many people that's like leaving early. Well, not even early, but just like leaving to go to sleep. And I'm like, hmm. DC says, I just imagine myself a nice quiet time at a home at a romantic cooking dinner, laughing about my cat scratching me in the face for the 15th time while we apply the bandage to my face and then adult stuff. Yes. Towards the rest of well, I'm glad that we did shift to that part, but yes, okay. Oh no, and Pop, no, Becky D is still chilling with us. Hmm. I don't know. I mean, it's actually funny too because I sit there and say I say I'm a millennium, a millennial. Well, I didn't grow up like I didn't have like internet or cable and stuff like that. Like that came in much later on tonight. W sir, we're gonna have another blue light confession again, Albert. Hmm, maybe, maybe. Darby. Sometimes I got some stuff I gotta sit there and get off my chest. So but I only sit there and will. Oh, oh my God! For the killer blow, you're definitely a boomer. Damn. DC says I'm a pretty simple guy, but you gotta have some basics. No, I get that. I get that. Interesting. Oof. Wow. Well, I've definitely been slayed tonight. Thank you, Jess. Oof. I always sit there, so I was like, you know what, it's Jess, so it's fine. Jess gets whatever she wants. Um, W says I'm 54. What am I? Mm-mm. Damn. There's must. I don't know if there's enough alcohol to get over that last comment. It's like I was getting tag team all night, and then Jess just came in with the finishing blow. And well, she is Jess. She gets what she wants, but god damn. Yeah, no, no, Jess is a millennial, and I'm apparently I'm a boomer. So I just gotta sit there and just Oh, Jess, what did you say last time when I did my epic cooking fail? I gotta hold that L. DC says I date anyone who working and who I can build with, attracted to, and who loves their family. You got your priorities straight, DC. You got your priorities straight. Just said hold this L. Okay, Jess. I'm gonna hold that L. Hold that L. Hold that L. Darby says I was young when they were phone booths and phone books. Yeah, I was around that time as well. I was around that time where they have VCRs. Because and it's actually kind of funny too because it was like when I used to sit there and watch like One Life 11 General Hospital, I used to record them on my VCR. Becky D. said, Albert, there's a lot to be said for experience. Don't forget that, okay? Thank you, Becky D. Thank you. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you, Becky D. Like just says, I'm a millennial. Just says, Albert, you are a millennial. Well, am I? Am I millennial? You know, I don't even want to say that word because the way it just said, the way that just said it was just like, oof. Just listening to saying I was a boomer. Ooh. Lisa says, you are my way, you are my way to another world. Darby says, I was a kid when Atari came out. Hmm. I was a kid when the Sega Genesis came out, right? I was a kid. I knew about the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, but I was a kid when the Sega Genesis came out. Oh my god, this was one hell of a night. I didn't even actually plan on staying up this late, but I had some stuff to sit there and say about Ava Jerome and the people that were outraged by it. I was super fired up. I love it. Singer says I watched the 90s. You see, I watched the 80s. Oh, W, an 80s kid. Okay, cool. Now, Becky G says, according to a search, millennial generation starts in 81. Okay, so yeah, no, I'm 83. I'm 83. So, I mean, yeah, I am a millennial. Now, Johnson says the age range and people are, yeah, no, so no, yeah, thank you, Becky D, and thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, no, I'm still a millennial. DC says, thing I watched all of the 1990s and went back to the 1980s, which will, which was all YouTube had available. Oh, oh, oh my God! No, he's a boomer. Oof. According to me, according to me, just like I can't be. Just because you said according to me, I can't even be mad about that. Not like I was gonna be mad anyway. Damn. According to me, DC says I'm even watching Love of Life, and I wasn't even alive when that show ended. Sarah says, "Yeah, I wonder how another world would it be if it was still on." Toby says, "Yeah, 68 million." My girl Jess is like, "Nope, you're still a boomer." According to me. DC says, also watching, or now I'm also watching As the World Turned 1981 and the so-called see how Barbara and James Standard once lucky to there. Sammy says it probably would have looked like God and Light at the end with that damn shaky cam. Uh, Johnson says, and Darby is Gen X. DC says, it really, are you Gen X? Never looked at that stuff. Never looked at that stuff. That's interesting. Excuse me. That's interesting. Well, I think I'm gonna sit there and call it a wrap for tonight. But I do want to thank you all for joining. Now, this was actually a lot of fun. Um, for so many reasons, just sit there and talk to everyone here, having a very long day, getting my second win, and being able to chop it up with y'all. And of course, getting slayed in the comment section because that was all sorts of fun. Sammy says I will never forget and got a life for that shaky cam. But this was a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us. This was fun. We're gonna sit there and chop it up tomorrow. Also, like I said, if you read my post, recover. I think it's gonna take like a whole sleep night to sit there and recover from all those burns I had. But yes. So I want to thank everyone for joining. Have a good night, Samuel. Have a good night. Oh, that's what I was gonna sit there and say. So yeah, Saturday. You want to sit there and come through. Othello, I think that's the name of the club. But I'll put it in the post again now. Gonna be there at 8 p.m. So definitely come through. Oh my God, Jess, Jess, Jesus Christ, Jess. Good night, good night, good nighty boomer. Jess is just killing it tonight. Oof. Have a good night, Mel. Thank you for joining. Jonathan says, join us next time for another edition of Soap Chat with Albert Bostic. Or yes, thank you, Valerie. Yes. So yeah, we'll be sitting there chopping it up. So definitely come through. DC says oh damn. DC says this has been Bostic Enterprises. Yes. Bostic Enterprises who have been slayed tonight. Two-piece combo. Have a good night, Darby. Becky D says, good night, Albert. This is fun. Thank you, everyone, for the company, all of the laughs, and even the serious conversations. Yes, thank you. Yeah, no, we did. We did actually kind of shift into that. We did. It was a lot of fun. Have a good night, Darby. Have a good night, Jonathan. Have a good night, Mel. Have a good night, Samuel. Have a good night, Valerie. Othello? Okay, I'm actually have to know how to pronounce his name. I'm gonna sit there and put that up there. So when people see the comments, they're gonna sit there and see her last. And apparently, I'm gonna be taking down those shades tomorrow. So that's gonna be fun. Um, oh, Jess. Yes, have a good night, everyone. Stay safe. I look forward to seeing y'all tomorrow. We're gonna sit there and what we're gonna do. We're gonna get into it tomorrow. We're gonna get into it tomorrow, and yeah. Stay safe, everyone. I will see y'all in the next live stream. Laters.